Dear panelists, this year's theme of the World Press Freedom Conference is journalism without fear or favor. Well, on behalf of all the independent journalists, I have a favor to ask.
We need an independent media, and a media that provides ample information to voters as also being fundamental to our democracy.
A lie told a million times becomes a fact.
Poor people are just hit proportionally higher than the rich, and that's something that we should all be reporting on, and at the same time we can't because we all have to stay at home. All in all, I find this a very distressing time for journalism.
Stand in solidarity together, it's now. Particularly also with the coronavirus targeting minority groups, people from Black communities and brown communities, indigenous communities. There's just so much sort of anger, rage, despair about the injustices that you have to face when you're from a certain community.
Media houses lost revenues and thousands of journalists were fired across the globe. Despite everything, they continue to do their job. Elections and peaceful protests were met with violence, and many of the journalists were even detained, arrested, or harassed. Disinformation and attack on social media criminalize journalists without any accountability.
I get an average of 98 messages per hour.
Journalism has become a dangerous profession.
Recently, we have seen that a journalist from Novaya Gazeta, who was also writing about the COVID approach by Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov, also got death threats, and they pulled that article.
I'm facing almost 100 years in prison, totally.
More than 20 journalists were killed. The majority because they uncovered the inconvenient truth.
We are the ones questioning policies during crisis.
So here's the favor I want to ask you. Investigate and prosecute every attack on every journalist, because these are often the foreshadows of what might become, like murder. Strengthen the judiciary so that they can protect the journalists from harm. Show the political will to make independent journalism a public good. Ensure that journalists can do their job without fear.